Hello people of the internet. So back doing another talking video, which I know everybody hates, but what I can do right now. I figured to do a slight channel update and a question to you guys. So the question will be, how do you get out of Project Purgatory? I'm sure everybody has been in Project Hell for some reason or another. How do you break the funk? What do you do to get out of it? You know, and like for me recently, the first punch was the rings went out in the Volvo. The next punch was Ohio went into monsoon season. We were in a drought last year. This year we got more rain than we know what to do with. As soon as the rain stopped, we had like 2 weeks of living out of the center of the sun. It just was miserable. It was like being back in southeastern Virginia. And then my family, there was a medical issue that popped up in a family, and everybody's fine. But you know, it's one of those big things where all life stops and you focus on what you're going to have to do to help and how the situations may change and things like that. So that was a 4-pack, and it's tough to get motivated. You know, you can't go outside and do things because of the weather. I mean, you could if it was an emergency or something like that, but you know, in my case, I don't have to do it, so can't get outside to do anything. The things that you had planned to do blew up in your face. You know, planned to go out and spend the summer doing car shows with my son, and the car lost rings. Which, yeah, it's 200,000 miles, and God only knows how it was treated before I got it. So it's not a big deal. It's old car ownership. But I don't have the capital to just jump on it, and I don't spend credit like I'm stupid. So how do you get out of Project Purgatory? And I'm trying to do some things. I've done a couple talking videos. Got at least one more plus this one, so that's 2. And other than that, I just not doing anything, which isn't great. Doesn't help me with the AI algorithm overlords. But sometimes you just gotta stop, and that's okay. You need to be okay with that. But how do you break Project Hell? What happens when the wind gets knocked out of your sails? You know, I've had some projects in my life where I didn't deal with things well, and I boxed them up and sold them to the highest bidder. And I've had others where I box them up and stick them in the attic and break them out when I needed to. So there's different ways to approach it. But I'm trying to break it. The weather's gotten nicer. There's a lot of things to do. And so now we're on to channel update. If you have any comments on how to get out of Project Hell, or just describe what you do to get out of Project Hell. You know, maybe you go play a video game, maybe you hang out with your buddies, maybe you get a cold snack, maybe you go target practice, maybe, you know, whatever it is, comment. Let me know what you do. You know, there's a lot of stuff I try to do. So anyway, we're gonna do channel update real quick, and I have to say thank you to everybody. We have officially cracked 400 subscribers, so I'm on my way to making pennies a month, which is great. You know, I might be able to buy some fuel line or something once I crack 500, and I really do appreciate that. It's, you know. And what's going on? Volvo's DOA. I don't know if I want to work on maybe continuing the headlight project or not, because the engine's cooked. So cylinders 1, 2, and 3 are pretty much, the rings have left chat, and compression is like 145 across the board on all 4 cylinders. So it's not bad, but it's not great. And that's just kind of, the Volvo's just kind of sitting now. I'm looking at it. The Volvo's just kind of sitting there. I got 2 projects to do with the Wrangler. One is I have developed well, it's been there for a while. I developed a slight leak on the water pump gasket. No cooling system issues. It's not huge. You get a little bit of a smell after you've driven it, but you know how it gets when you put things off. So I need to change the water pump gasket. Probably put a new water pump on it because I got one. I've got a Rubicon transfer case and Dana upgraded drive shafts to go in it. And I'm also trying to work out doing a steel valve cover swap. So they have plastic valve covers. They're shit. They're crap. I've got one set of steel valve covers. I just recently found another set that I might get. But that's kind of the Wrangler. The Dodge is running great. Needs a wheel speed sensor, but Dodge is running great and doing fine. Grand Cherokee, as always, is just doing excellent. There's nothing wrong with it. It is a great daily driver. And outside of that, I think we might be focusing more on some property videos. I need to, well, not directly like land management property. I do need to do a service on the tractor, and I need to do a service on my lawnmower, my push mower, and my riding mower. I'll probably do the push mower and the riding mower together as a service, and the big tractor is its own service. I don't know when I'll get to them, but I'm planning on doing those. But also, we've recently gotten a land management plan for our property, and part of that is to establish boundary markers properly and to start really cleaning and utilizing the existing trail structure. We don't have a ton of trails across our property, but cleaning up, the guy's right, you know, cleaning up and doing the existing ones is of importance. It's something we need to do. And so that's very much something that will probably be, I'll probably try to video that. As I know, there's a couple that we're basically reclaiming from nature where you can see that there is a trail there, but it's been left to overgrow. And there's a couple where we can see where we want to make a trail. There isn't one existing, but we want to cut a trail and we want to get there. And a lot of that's going to utilize the Wrangler. So it'll showcase the Wrangler as being used as more of a property, all-around property vehicle, which I do think Jeeps in general need to go back to being all-around property vehicles. Get back to the utilitarianism of pre-AMC era, you know, Willis era Jeeps. And, you know, make them work. They were originally designed to be workers. Get them out there, get them working. And I want to show that you can actually do it with a more modern one. I get it, mine's 15, 16 years old at this point, but they still are workers to some extent. And I think that's where we're going for the channel right now. When I get the money, I will start doing the Volvo engine. And one of the big holdbacks on the Volvo is I really want to do a 5-speed swap. And I feel like if I've got the engine out, that's the perfect time to do the 5-speed swap, so it adds to that expense. Also, domestically, well, not impossible, but some of the parts are starting to get a little bit more difficult to acquire for that sort of thing. You know, these engines stopped being produced in the United States back in '95, and they stopped being produced globally, I want to say in like '98, '99. So we're out there. I found suppliers in Europe, and I will probably order through them. But then it compounds the wait period, and we also have, you know, you got to pay customs and things. There are fees and stuff involved in ordering from out of country like that. Anyway, that's pretty much where we are. Got to do some property maintenance. Got to do some property equipment maintenance. Got to swap out the transfer case in a Wrangler, leaky water pump gasket in a Wrangler, and then figure out where we're going on the Volvo from that. As I don't want to give up on it. I like the car. I definitely don't want to sell it or anything. But at the same time, it's DOA. It's taking up space in my garage. You got to walk around it, work around it, all that kind of stuff. So again, I appreciate all the subscribers. I appreciate getting up above 400 subscribers. It's very helpful. I'm going to try to go back to my regular content schedule, at least to some extent. It might get pushed back. Don't expect product quality to go up. Just not in it to win it for that. And it's just not. I've been upfront. I've been honest about that. Just not in it to win it on that one. And yeah, I think that's where we're going to be. So get out, have fun, go do something you like, and please let me know in the comments, how do you get out of Project Purgatory when you're stuck, when you can't get out and work on the stuff you want to work on for whatever reason, whether it's illness, money, weather, time, whatever it is. How do you get through the funk? How do you not let it beat you down? Everybody have a nice day.